It's me, your girl, the lady, Miss B. What you say now? Listen, I want to have a serious conversation with you today. Hopefully, it won't take up too much of your time, but nevertheless, this conversation needs to be had. So here we go. For those of us that are seeking in search of things, some of us may be in search for a companion, whether you're male or female. Some of us, we are longing for a better job. Some of us trying our best to get our degree or some type of certification. Some of us are longing just for a better relationship, whether it be family dynamics or companionship. Some of us are searching for a better relationship as it relates to our business partners. Whatever the case may be, stop and think, at what point did things seem to get off course? Like, if it was going well, at what point did it change? Can you recall? Hmm? What role did you play in it? Some of us are experiencing a void. We feel this really deep void in our life where it's something that we're pursuing, something that we really want, we really desire to have, but it just doesn't seem to be coming together, or maybe we had it and it's now falling apart. Without pointing the fingers at others, pointing the blame at someone else, can you recall where you fell off at in dealing with that factor? Perhaps you were in a marriage and, or maybe you are in a marriage and things started to get a little bumpy, a little shaky. Can you recall when you noticed that it started getting shaky? So a lot of times stuff happens, and when it initially happens, we don't think anything of it until it gets to the point where it's something that starts happening repeatedly, and then we take note of it. So what happened that you did not take note of it before? Like that thing that took place and you just let it slide by. Could have been something on your part. Maybe it was something that you were supposed to do and you forgot to do it and you just brushed it off and thought nothing of it. Hmm. Yeah, I'll wait. Perhaps you are someone who has been searching for a job and now you're getting frustrated because the job that you desire, you haven't been able to attain it just yet. Where did you fall off at? Like, are you still being consistent with being who you are with your current job? Are you still staying focused, keeping up with your task that you were assigned already? Hmm. Perhaps it's a business relationship. You've gotten frustrated along the way, maybe something happened. You just pushed to the side, and now you can't seem to take it anymore. What actions are you displaying now within the business? Are you still on staying focused. Maybe it's with a family member. They've done something, they struck a nerve, and you're just at your wits' end about it. Could it be that whatever had happened, there were some things that was leading up to it that perhaps you just pushed to the side and chose to ignore? Well, guess what? So a lot of times things be happening within our life or within our circle, and it starts out as being something minute. We just brush it off to the side, and we just figure it's okay. We're not going to say anything, we're just going to leave it alone. And then it starts building and building. And now it seems like every little thing gets on your last nerve. Every little thing frustrates you. When all of this could have been nipped in the bud a long time ago if you just sat down and had a grown-up conversation. If you just continue to do your task, working diligently as unto the Lord, as you used to do. Yeah, a lot of times we fall off because we forget, and then we allow things to pile up on us, and then it becomes the straw that broke the camel's back, and now we're all worked up and we're all frustrated when certain things could have been nipped in the bud if we just stopped for a moment and just had a conversation. Not meaning have a conversation in a heated moment when nobody's listening, everybody's trying to voice their concerns, but in a setting where everything was nice and calm, and you just sit down and have a general conversation that will lead you right into whatever the issue is at hand. Then it could have been addressed and dealt with, and everything will continue on. It could have continued on for the better. Now a lot of us are sitting around, we're twiddling our thumbs, we're frustrated because now it seems like no one understands. No one gets us. We can't have our way right now. And so we're frustrated. Honey, get yourself together. Yeah, get yourself together. Get yourself together. I'm not talking about what other people are doing, I'm talking about you. Sometimes we've got to stop and think, what do we contribute to the situation? Now, I'm not talking about stuff whereas, you're married and now you're dealing with violence and infidelity, stuff like that. No, that's not this conversation. Okay, so if that's where you think this conversation is going, then I'm sorry, but not sorry to let you know that no, I'm not talking about that. That's a whole nother conversation. That's beyond me. Okay, but no, I'm just talking about things that are in general, like before it gets to the point of you destroying your life or things falling apart within your home, things falling apart on your job. Yeah, before we get to that point, all that other stuff, no, sweetie, you have to take that up with somebody else. Probably need a professional, go sit on somebody's couch, do some soul searching with them. Mm-mm. That's too big for my scope, sorry. But if we just stop and take a moment and think, what are the initial signs that we saw? What are the initial things that we did that got us to the point that we are right now? A lot of us are searching, we're trying to fill the void. It's something that's missing, and we're trying our best to figure it out so that we could fill that void. And a lot of times we're going about it the wrong way. Yeah, we are. We do. A lot of times we focus on the wrong thing, and instead of us focusing in on what the root cause of the issue is, you know, like you could be someone who is longing for a committed relationship. You're not quite ready to be married, but you want to be in a committed relationship. And now you're just feeling lonely because they're not spending as much time with you as you like, or maybe you don't have a companion and you're seeking to have a companion so that you could have someone to spend some time with. So you want someone to fill that void. Well, guess what? No one can fill that void for you. You have to fill that void. And that void starts with going back. For those of us who are believers of Jesus Christ, walking in the Christian faith, take your time and go back to God. A lot of times we are trying to put things in the place where our relationship with God should be. So now we're frustrated because that person is not spending as much time with us as we think that they should. They're busy doing other things. Have you thought about tapping into using that as some time for prayer, or some time to focus on your relationship with you and your Savior? Have you? Yeah. So maybe that void that you're feeling is not about this connection. Maybe it's about this connection that you have somehow misconstrued to being that connection with you and your partner or your companion. When God is sitting there waiting for you to get back into the place where you once were, that connecting factor. Yeah. All right. So you got to stop and think. Everything that we're going through, yeah, there is a reason. It's a reason for it. It doesn't mean that it's something that God is doing to us. It doesn't mean that it's something that the devil is doing to us. A lot of times it's stuff that we're doing to ourselves. Because if you put in some more time in prayer, reading your word, just meditating, that big void that you're feeling will start to shrink. Now you're in tune with God and you can hear instruction on what it is that you should be doing. Like maybe God is trying to connect with you and let you know, hey, there's a different avenue that I want you to take. Instead of searching out that particular position, maybe there's another position that you should be looking at. But because you are now getting slack in your current position, you don't know. So that opportunity is about to pass you by. Why? Because you're so focused in on what's not happening instead of focusing in on what is happening. Yeah. Maybe it's that class and you're pushing yourself and you really want to get this certification. You really want to get things completed so that you can get your diploma or your degree or whatever type of certification it is that you need. You're seeking out trying to get that done. And maybe it's one little component that you're missing. But because your focus is elsewhere, you keep looking right over it. some time out, stop, meditate, reflect back, and see what it is that you're missing, what it is that you need to be doing, what it is that you should have done, so that you can get the completion that you need, so that you can gain that certification that you're seeking for. Okay? It's more than likely it's something that's right there under your nose. But because you are focused in other areas, you keep missing it. Maybe it's, within your family, a family dynamic that's happening that you're missing, It may be the relationship between you and your kids, or you and your parent, or you and another relative. Things seems to be a little off. It could be something as simple as you need to apologize for something. But because you are so focused on pushing the blame on everybody else, that you're missing it. So that thing that you did or did not do, that you figured, really don't matter. It may not have mattered to you, but to that other individual, it mattered. Yeah. And all it requires is for you to be sincere in your apology and apologize. Yeah. Just that simple. And that could mend a whole lot of stuff that you're dealing with. So take out some time. Come on. Refocus. Get it together and understand that because you feel like you're missing something, like there is a void in your life, that void might not necessarily be about a relationship with you and someone else. It could be a relationship with you and God the Father that you need to get back in check. Now, for some of you who may say, well, I don't believe in God. Okay. You believe in the higher power, the universe, whatever other names is out there now. Whatever your faith is, stop and think. What is it that you're really missing? Because if you get everything else in order and lined up like it should be, then everything else should flow. It might not be as flowing as easy as you wish it would, but if you take out some time and just think, reflect back to see what is it that could have possibly gone wrong. Where could it have possibly gone wrong? It will make all the difference. But guess what? You gotta want to stop and think about it. You gotta want better for your life. For the men, some of you guys feel like, nobody can tell you nothing. You of this age, a certain age now, and you don't need to learn nothing. No, sweetie, you need to learn something. As long as you are still yet living and breathing, then there's an opportunity for you to learn something. Okay? If it's your companion, you think you got her, all figured out because you know about women. But guess what? You might know about women, but you don't know about her as an individual. Get to know her as an individual. Yeah. So you too, as a man, you may need to get in tune with your relationship this way. Okay? So that when you get this connected like it should, then it will help you with your commitment this way. Okay? Yeah. You, sir, you gotta do it. Come on, enough of this walking around here thinking that because you've been in a relationship before, you know how it goes. No, you don't. The problem is you are trying to love that person according to your knowledge of somebody else. Learn to love her according to your knowledge of her as an individual. Yeah. Because your last woman liked chocolates. This one might not like chocolate. Maybe she's allergic to chocolate. And you just keep on buying her chocolate because you figure all women like chocolate. No. Get to know her for who she is. But that's going to require that you get in tune with God the Father, with your Creator, so that you can understand who you are as an individual. Yeah. Women, likewise, get in tune with your Creator and figure out what's your purpose in life. Figure out who you are and who you're supposed to be. And then those voids that you're feeling, you won't have to feel them. Because now you will understand that, hey, this is what I need to be doing. And then that will take the place of that void that you're feeling. But that void that you're feeling is because you're missing the mark. Yes, your purpose in life. You are missing your purpose in life. You're missing it. Yeah, you may have gotten a whole lot of stuff accomplished, but guess what? You're still feeling that void. You're feeling that void for a reason. You are. We spend so much time focusing in on what everybody else should be doing for us. It's some stuff that we should be doing for ourselves. Just like there are those of us that feels our companion should be making us happy. Your happiness is based on you. How do you see life? How do you see yourself? That is on you. That has nothing to do with other people. You leaving someone else up to making you happy is a moving target. That changes with the wind. Come on. You gotta stop this. This is foolishness. It really is. And we've gotta stop. Get in your word. Okay? Get some books. Read. Yes. Take out some time and read. It's nothing wrong with, I don't care how old you may be. Get a book and read. Learn some knowledge of some other things in life. You should want to continue your life thriving, not just surviving. Get out of that survival mode mindset. No, you should be thriving in life. Really, you should. And it should not be dependent upon if you have a companion or not. No. No. It should not be dependent upon what job you have. No. You should be thriving in life because that is your desire to be a better you, whatever that means. Okay? But it's not always, or it shouldn't be focused on material gain. Because if that all goes away, then what? Hmm? When we went through the pandemic, when everything shut down, you couldn't go anywhere. You couldn't spend it. There was nothing for you to do but sit still. And life still moved on, didn't it? Exactly. So stop basing your lifestyle on things. See if you can focus your life on being the best version of yourself that you could possibly be. Meaning, you're going to strive every day to be better than you were yesterday. You're going to get some books and take out some time and read the books. Comprehend what it is that you're reading. Get a better understanding of who you are. Yeah. If you're having a moment where you are just locked away and you trying to isolate yourself from the world and you want to be shut off from the world, okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody get like that from time to time. But that's just for a brief moment. That's not something that you should be focusing in on doing. That's all you want to do, just go home and shut up in the house and be in the complete dark and you don't want to talk to anybody. No, baby, that's depression setting in. And you need to get help for that. Okay? If that's something that you are experiencing, then pick up a working phone and dial 988. Somebody on the other end of that line will talk with you. Okay? There are different organizations out there that can help you so that you can find yourself. All right? And understand that this isolation is good at times because maybe it's time for you to be set apart and stop and think. Do some meditating on your life. Yeah. Isolation isn't always a bad thing. We just make it out to be a bad thing because then we want to be isolated for too long. No, sometimes you need some quiet time to get your thoughts together, get your mind right. Yeah. And it's nothing wrong with that. Really, it's not. Because a lot of us find ourselves in our moment of silence, in our moment of being isolated. But that's isolation that you choose to do. I'm not talking about somebody forcing you into isolation. No, no, that's something else that you need to get some help for. Reach out, call somebody. 988. Again, there's someone on that end or the other end of that line that'll talk to you and I'll give you some instruction. And you just have to follow through with the instructions. Yeah. But we've gotta do it. We've gotta take the time, okay, and start understanding who we are. Figuring out what it is that we're doing in life. A lot of us are going through stuff. We're dealing with stressors of life and we're handling it to the best of our abilities. But then there are some of us that's just ignoring it and we're allowing it to weigh us down. Okay? Then there are some of us that we're trying to find a way to numb the pain, to silence the voices that we're hearing, dealing with those stressors. So we're turning to different things. Whether we're becoming an alcoholic or a workaholic, shopaholic. We are finding all different types of ways to try and deal with our moments of stressing. And it's getting us absolutely nowhere but deeper into stress because now we have other issues that we're compounding on top of what we were already dealing with. Why? Because we're trying to avoid it. Some of us are doing things and we're running. Stop running. You got to deal with it. At some point, you've got to deal with it. All right? Some of us avoiding going home because there's so much friction in our house. So we just don't want to go home. When we go home, we want to go home late when everybody's asleep. No. There are some things that you need to address. You got to deal with it. If you had dealt with it back then, you wouldn't be dealing with it now. You wouldn't be trying to run from it now. But because we chose not to, now this is where we are. Yeah. And so now we're trying to find everything else in the world to do other than deal with the issue at hand. The stressors of life, it'll get the best of you, sweetie. Okay? So even if you just need to have the conversation, honey, have the conversation. Please have a conversation with somebody. All right? Even if that means that you just sit down and write out your thoughts, write out your thoughts. And then go pray. Okay? Get in your Bible and read. And then find you some self-help books to read. Yes, you gotta do it. Come on. Enough of this. We're wearing our own selves down. We're wearing our own selves thin because we keep trying to run. Stop running. Stop trying to hide. No. Yeah, you have that void that's there. Running from it isn't going to help. It's not. Okay, so you're in a relationship and now that significant other wants somebody else. Okay. Life goes on, sweetie. Yeah. But like I said, if you change your focus, okay, everything else will pan itself out. But you gotta change. You gotta do your part. You can't be upset because now they want somebody else. No, that's because you've gotten yourself all wrapped up in them, and you want them to make you happy, and now both of y'all miserable. No, you both of you can live beyond that, even if that means living apart. It's okay. Sometimes we have to separate ourselves for a season and then come back together. And that's okay too. All right? But still, get couples counseling. The least you can do. Get some counseling. Yeah. Get couples counseling and then do some individual counseling for the both of you. Yeah. So that you can find yourself and both of you can be a better person, be a better you. And then you can live beyond this, move beyond this, and live a healthier lifestyle. Yeah. Grow from there. Grow. The key to it is to grow. Okay? Yeah. And what's this on my shirt? Oh, this is my shirt for my book. This is my first book that I published, my first published work, reading book, and it is entitled Your Drug of Choice, The Elephant in the Room. And guess what? It's a conversation piece to start us for having that conversation about stressors. Yeah, it's on Amazon. Yeah. My pen name is Beasley B. So you can find it on the Beasley B. Or you can just pull it up under the title of the book. Your Drug of Choice, The Elephant in the Room. No, I'm not saying that you're on drugs. Get the book and read it. And you will understand. It'll make some sense for you. Because you know, the elephant in the room, the stuff that we're not addressing, just like this conversation we just having. Yeah, the elephant in the room. Hmm. Having those conversations. Some of us are dealing with issues from when we were growing up, from our childhood, you know, that we have now carried on into our life, into our relationship, and we're basing everything that we went through back then, we're basing our new relationship on what we experienced back then, you know, cause somebody up and left us. Now we think everybody gonna leave us. So now we are becoming codependent. We attach to that person like we attach to their hip. They can't breathe without breathing us because we won't give them a moment to have to themselves. That's not healthy. It's not. That's not healthy at all for neither parties. It's not healthy. So yeah, but get the book. It's a good conversation piece to help you start out having the conversations within yourself. Yeah. But anyway, listen. I just want you to understand that having that void can only be filled by your creator. Your creator has to fill in that void for you. Okay? That's where you should change your purpose, change your focus so that you can find out what your purpose is. All right? Yeah. So you, my friend, be encouraged. And remember, I'm here with you, passing on some hope is what I do. Stay tuned to this channel, Enjoying Talks with LNB, and I'll see you soon. All right? Please feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Okay? All righty. Talk with you soon.